Everyone thinks they're a fighter until they stand in front of someone who does this for a living. Confidence looks huge online. Thumbs fly, caps lock is loud, views roll in. But the second a trained pro starts reading your rhythm, ego shrinks. That's the split we're exploring today. The exact moment when bravado meets reality and all that talk gets audited by skill. If you came for chaos, humility, and a little karmic justice, you're in the right place. But that's just the intro. Watch what happens next. It always starts small. A snarky comment, a baited question, a little poke thrown for clout. Then the target isn't just a username. It's a human with timing, power, and a bad habit of answering disrespect with receipts. Now picture a guy walking into a gym and calling himself a street fighter. He's got that grin, that chin lift, that trust me bro toughness. He wants light sparring, maybe trailer park rules, and whatever that means. Across from him is a pro who's heard it all, seen it all, and knows exactly how fast a fantasy crumbles. There's a jab that finds the nose, a leg kick that steals balance, a clinch that looks casual until you feel your lungs bargaining. And muscle beats technique. Sounds great on a t-shirt, falls apart on a mat. Big guys show up certain that gravity is their coach and mass is their strategy. Then a smaller fighter ties their limbs like a shoelace, shifts hips, and turns horsepower into dead weight. You can bench 3 plates and still tap to a simple choke when your neck alignment is trash. You can squat the moon and still get swept by an angle change you didn't see because you were busy flexing. That's not shade. That's leverage, frames, and timing. The big lesson isn't don't lift, it's lift, then learn. Strength plus technique is terrifying. Strength without technique is just gym noise. And speaking of noise, let's talk about the loudest currency online, trash talk. Trash talk sells, clips cut faster, comments go crazier, algorithms eat conflict for breakfast. But there's a boundary you cross when you treat fighters like props. It's easy to forget the part where they don't switch off after the camera stops. They don't log out of consequences. The streamer who thought it was content found out it wasn't. The gym crasher who thought light sparring meant I get to test my anger found out he was testing someone else's composure. The troll who yelled, "I'm the best," learned the ring has a brutal way of grading on a curve. And right when you think people will stop poking the bear, someone new taps the glass like it's a pet shop. Creators who understand pacing treat these clips like chapters. Start with a cold claim, cut to a moment where ego gets checked, slide a quick lesson, then tease the next hit without stalling. Viewers don't need a lecture, they need a heartbeat. 2 sentences can do the work of 10 if the rhythm is right. He walked in loud, he left quiet. That line does numbers because it's a story in 8 words. Keep your verbs active. Keep your adjectives lean. Censor the fluff and the profanity. A little shti goes a long way. A wall of bleeped rage turns people off. And if you're narrating, smile with your voice when you explain the lesson. It lands softer and sticks longer. Still, none of this works if you forget the core truth that Cage teaches daily. Real fighters don't need the camera. They don't need the narrative. They're not trying to win a comment war. Their job is to solve a moving problem while tired and scared and very human. That's why watching them humble people isn't just entertaining, it's educational. You see how breathing matters. You see how distance is a weapon. You see how composure under fire flips a losing exchange into a clean pivot and a check hook. You also see how anger gets harvested. A good fighter will let you talk, let you swing, then walk you into the exact mistake he wants. Chin high, hands low, feet square, and collect. Audiences call it exposed. Fighters call it Tuesday. And that's why the next moment is always the best one. The silence after the finish. There's a quiet 3-second window right after a tap or a knockout where everyone recalibrates. The gym hears its own air conditioner again, and the phone camera shakes. The loud guy suddenly looks small, and the pro looks normal. He's not gloating. He's not chasing clout. He's just breathing, resetting, maybe offering a hand up. Viewers love that contrast. Mercy after dominance hits harder than a highlight. It makes the lesson feel earned, not spiteful. And if you're crafting a video, that's where you pose the question that drives comments. Was the pro too harsh, or did the challenger ask for it? You don't need to answer. Let the thread fight it out while watch time climbs. But don't click off yet, because there's a twist that flips the narrative again. Sometimes the amateur isn't a villain. Sometimes he's just curious, cocky, and undereducated. He walks in loud because he thinks loud equals brave. He leaves quiet, but not broken, just updated. The best endings are the ones where the lesson sticks and the kid comes back to train for real. That's the true cheat code of these stories. A public humbling isn't a finish line, it's a checkpoint. You can take that L and chase a new identity built on work instead of Wi-Fi. Viewers love redemption more than demolition. If you're making content, mix both. Give us the wreck for adrenaline and the rebuild for heart, but keep the pacing tight. Leave them wanting the next beat. Now zoom out. Why do these clips go nuclear? Because they're simple. Pride walks in, reality walks over, lesson walks out. You don't need backstory, you don't need rule books, you just need that first look on someone's face when they realize skill is a different species. The reaction is priceless. The blink, the gulp, the stumble, the tiny nod like, dang, he's good. That raw humanity is why fight content pulls even non-fans. It's not violence, it's truth with gloves on. And the truth is never boring. Keep rolling. Here's the part the algorithm won't tell you. People replay humility. They replay the stun, the slip, the counter, the tap. They replay because they're learning on autopilot how to move, how not to move, when to shut up. That's why your narration should be clean and punchy. Call the beat, give a reason, then move. Jab steals the step. Low kick steals the base. Clinch steals the air. 3 lines, 1 lesson, 10 seconds. Perfect. Drop a tiny tease at the end, but then he overreaches and pays for it. And your retention graph thanks you. Do that 8 times and you've got a video people finish. Finishers get recommended. Recommended gets you paid. But this isn't only about views, it's about respect. Respect is the thread tying everything together. Respect for the craft, for the gym rules, for the people whose bones make the sounds you clip for TikTok. You can be entertaining without being reckless. You can be edgy without being cruel. Censor your profanity. Skip the ugly buzzwords. If a topic skates near the platform's red lines, reword it. You're not selling fake outrage. You're selling real lessons wrapped in high-voltage moments. The audience is smarter than you think. Treat them like friends you'd actually train with, not strangers you're trying to bait. And when you end with a line that echoes a little after the video stops. So here it is. The internet crowns talkers, but the mat coronates workers. Cameras love noise. Reality loves timing. If you're stepping into a gym, bring humility first. If you're stepping in front of a mic, bring honesty. And if you're making content, bring rhythm. Short lines, clean pivots, fresh words. The fighters in these clips aren't characters in your story. They're the standard you measure yourself against. That's why these moments hit so hard. They're not about winning a fight. They're about meeting the truth and deciding who you'll be afterward. Tell me which moment hit you hardest. The press room panic, the street rules reality check, the troll finally getting graded, or the copycat melting under pressure. Drop your pick and why. If you want more of these breakdowns, fast hooks, clean lessons, and stories that hold, stick around. I've got the receipts, the rhythm, and just enough mystery to keep you pressing play. And the next one? Let's just say someone thought size was everything until technique showed up and taxed his soul.